Welcome to lesson 2.8D. Today we're going to look at naming binary compounds of the type 3 variety, which are your binary covalent compounds. Binary covalent compounds are named by using the element in the formula first with its full name, and then naming the second element as if it were an anion, so you change the ending to IDE. In covalent compounds, we use prefixes to denote the number of atoms present, and we never use the prefix mono for naming the first element. So here are the prefixes we use. Most of these you probably learned in geometry. Mono, di, and then tri, just like a triangle, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, and then deca. So let's take this and apply it. We're going to name each of these compounds. So first thing we want to do is we want to look and see if a metal is present, and so that takes us back to the periodic table and has us looking at the upper right part of the periodic table, and both phosphorus and chlorine are there, so they're nonmetals. Sulfur and oxygen are there, so they're nonmetals, and fluorine is also there, so it's a nonmetal. So to name this compound, how many phosphorus do we have? We just have one, but we don't use mono, so this is phosphorus pentachloride, phosphorus trichloride, sulfur dioxide. And then to write the formulas, writing the formulas is pretty easy because you just use the prefixes. So sulfur, since it doesn't have a prefix, one is implied, so sulfur, and then hexa. So fluoride is the second, or fluorine is the second element. Hexa means 6, so SF6. And then sulfur trioxide, again, sulfur, and then oxygen. And tri means that there are 3 oxygens. So type 3 binary compounds are pretty easy to name. A couple more flowcharts. Is it a binary compound? Yes. Is there a metal present? No would mean it's a type 3, and you're going to use the prefixes. Yes, we have to then answer the question, does it form more than one cation? No takes you to the first type of binary ionic compound we learned about, and yes takes you to the one type of compound where you use the Roman numerals. This last slide in this PowerPoint is rather interesting because it doesn't count a polyatomic as a binary compound. So if it is a binary compound, if it just has 2 elements, then you use the strategies we just talked about. If it's a binary compound and there's a polyatomic ion or multiple polyatomic ions present, then you use the rules similar to naming for binary compounds. And if there's not a polyatomic ion present, chances are we haven't talked about how to name that yet. So look for some examples in your textbook. Use sapling homework to practice the naming concept for type 3s. And next time we're going to talk about how to name acids.